Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. This is Prince Roxin, your financial analyst. Today, I want to speak on what to do before you invest, what you need to do before you invest, especially within the stock exchange market. Most of the times, people just rush to invest because others are telling them to go and invest, or probably there are news about shares, and these people do not even have an idea about what share means. They don't even know the nitty-gritties about stock trading, and it is very devastating. But I am here this afternoon to give you an understanding for you to have an idea about what to do before you invest. Number one, the question you must ask yourself is that you must understand what you are investing in. What am I investing in? That's number one. It is very crucial because when you understand what you are investing in, it becomes a bit easier for you because you must know the business behind the stock, not just the price. You must know the business behind the stock, not just the price. What are you looking for? What does the company do? Because there are other companies, a lot of companies out there, but you ask yourself, what does the company do? Is the company into telecommunication? Are they into banking? Are they into manufacturing? These are salient and important points you'd have to look at. How does it make money? If they are into communication, if they are into banking, if they are into manufacturing, how do they make their money? Is it profitable? These are important questions you must ask yourself before you jump onto the sail, before you jump onto the ship. It is important. Does it have a future growth? You ask yourself, does it have a future growth? For example, MTN Ghana, they are into telecommunication network, right? They are into most of their business operations spans from calling, we have voice call, we have mobile money. So these are some of the things you find yourself within MTN, and their sources of revenue are mainly driven by data, by data bundle, by mobile money transaction, by voice call. So these are the major drivers of what MTN does. So if more Ghanaians uses mobile money, it means that MTN is going to make a lot of money. Stock can rise because a lot of people are using mobile money. A lot of people are calling. MTN will get more money because of voice call. So you look at the revenue. How do they make revenue? You see, you don't understand this. You are just guessing. If you don't understand this basic stuff, you are just guessing. And it is a recipe for disaster. Another example I wanted to take is the banking sector. Ghana Commercial Bank. What are they into? What is their scope? What is their mission? What is their motivation? You have to understand that the Ghana Commercial Bank falls within the banking industry. And so once it falls itself within the banking industry, you are looking at loan, you are looking at savings, you are looking at investment. How do they make their money is a question. Most of their monies are made through interest on loan. They give out loans to people. And so if they give loans out to people, it means that if people are ready to pay those loans, then it means that there's going to be profitability. But when we find ourselves in a place which is in the place of risk, where people take money and they don't pay the loans, it becomes debt. And when it becomes debt, they write it in their books as bad debt. And it is not a good, news for the company. There are other venues or other means in which, they generate money. But majority of how they generate money is through lending. As they lend out, they get interest from whoever they are lending those monies to. So it's very, very important. Many people just invest because price is going up. Someone just told somebody, let's go and buy shares, and they're going to buy shares. What is the speculation? People are just speculating. That is just speculation and not investing. You are not investing, the speculation. Hey, price na control, price no 50. Yanko to be share no control. No, you must understand what you are getting yourself involved in. Number two is that you must know what causes stocks to rise and fall. If you don't know what causes stock to rise and fall, then please, you have no business in this enterprise. You must know what causes stocks to rise and fall. Stock Mainly, the price of stock are mostly moved by the factors of supply and demand. That is simple. The factors of supply and demand is what moves it down. So the question is, what makes stocks to rise? One has to do with strong performance of the company. It's very important. Higher profit, expansion of new branches. For example, MTN goes to, open a new branch somewhere within Fanchinico. Now it is a strategy of getting revenue, because the people probably in Fanchinico or whatever may not have an MTN telecommunication within the entire district. But because MTN had come to open a business operation over there, it is an avenue for them to make money within that sector, which is a smart move. So there is expansion, new branches. You look at all these things. If MTN Momo uses, profit increases mostly because a lot of people have bought shares. The prices will go up is because their business operations have expanded. Positive news. When there are positive news, it helps the company to grow. Do you know that bad news could collapse a company? Bad news could bring the stock or could bring the drop of a price within the share market, because investors are looking at what is going on within the company. Once there is a negativity about a company, some investors are quick to take a decision which would be to safeguard their investment. So for example, there are bad news about a company in terms of their finances, there are bad news about their operations, there are bad news of mismanagement. Investors will be smart enough to secure their money, thereby pulling out. So bad news sells. In as much as bad news sells, good news also causes the stock to rise. Economic growth. When Ghana's economic improves, business grow, more investors enter into the market, and then we see growth within that sector. Why stocks will fall? You must know poor financial performance will cause a stock to fall, which is quite easy, and it is easily explained. When there is poor performance, when the financials are very poor, when you look at their profitability, it's really negative. When you look at their books aren't really doing quite well. When you look at their assets are poorly, when you look at their financial position, there's a problem with that company. That would cause prices of stock to fall because there is poor financial performance. Scandals, like we said, debt problem. Like last week, I brought you a news about one of the stocks that out of debt, a bank was going in to seize their asset, which is bad news. And once there's a bad news, investors would want to take a position. Either they would sell at a good price or they will exit the market. It is very important. So these are some of the things that will cause prices to fall. So if you're an investor and you want to invest in the stock exchange, please consider these factors I have just espoused and take an informed decision. Don't just buy because people are buying. Don't just buy because, yes, it's good that people say the stock price is, MTN is doing well, SIC is doing well, GOIL is doing well, Glidestone is doing well, other stocks on the market are doing well. But please, I'll always say, before you invest, these two things must be critical. Don't forget about it. Don't forget about it. Know what you are getting yourself involved in. Number two, know what causes the rise and the fall of stocks. It's important. I love you. I come your way some other time with an investment piece. Stay blessed. Peace and shalom. Bye-bye.